So here's the outcome for tonight and the next week when we meet. So we want to have you eventually start chunking or looking at year at a glance and what that might look like for stage 1 for units for the year. So this is our formative assessment. We're going to try to model for you what it is that we feel is best practice. And so here's what we want to do. On your tables, you should have handouts that say what is curriculum. And you can do this individually or you can do it as a table. It's up to you. What we'd like you to do is talk about what is curriculum. What does that mean? What are we talking about? Are we talking about units? Are we talking about standards? And so look through that list and at your table, either individually, pairs, trios, group, circle or highlight what you believe curriculum is.
Is this your circling?
Yeah, I want to save one that was.
Who thinks they have it correct? Would like to share. And we'd like you, when you share, to tell us why.
I always talk to my teachers about how your textbook is not your curriculum. So we went to the World Class Outcome, Colorado Academic Standards, 4 Cs, 21st Century Skills, and the content are the GVCs, which is your curriculum.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'd like to expand on what our group already came up with, and I'm a special educator, so I'm in personalized learning, and I think it's whatever the student needs. To include executive functioning, to include social skills, to include cognitive skills, self-direction, self-regulation. We have to teach those pieces so they can access curriculum at their level.
So somebody read me the items on the list and which ones are goals of the student. So what's the first one? Textbooks. Textbooks the goal? Okay, next one. Units the goal.
What is units? A what? Way to organize, way to plan, think about your teaching, okay?
Next one. Course catalog. Those are goals? No. Okay, next one. Syllabus. No.
Okay.
World-class outcomes. Yes.
Let's try that again. A little resounding.
She's a little biased on that one.
Yes. Okay. Colorado academic standards. Would we say yes? Okay. All outcomes are tagged to standards. Novels.
No.
As a former English teacher, it tugs at my heart, but you're right. Worksheets. Okay. 4 Cs? Yes. Yes. 21st century skills. Yes. Backward planned units. That's the same as units. Technology. No. It's integrated to help them learn, but not the goal. It's a tool.
Right.
GVC. GVC? Yes. Yes, because it contains all the yeses you had said prior to. Content.
Is content a goal? Comma?
Yep.
You want them to learn the comma?
Content, it has to be a goal. We can't instruct void of content.
Right.
Right? Okay, so what would we say our curriculum is here in Douglas County again? World-class outcomes? Colorado academic standards? 4 Cs? Content, which is all found where? GVC for the most part. Content might not be spelled out specifically, but the standards are linked in there. Okay, so what we want to do now, talking about GVCs, and on our website we have that wonderful little graphic. We would like you, and if you want to do whole table, you can. If you want to do pairs, you can. Choice. We want you using any form of media. We gave some examples. We want you to demonstrate the following. What are the components of the GVC, the origin of each of those, and why we want kids to learn them. So 3 outcomes of this assessment: components, origin, why. And you can do it in any form, even a form that's not listed up there. Okay? So we will give you some time. Think about what you want to do. Be creative, innovative. And then we'll have you share out.
We started with a tree, and our tree represents the GVCs. It's all encompassing, and it encompasses our branches, which include the world-class outcomes, which include our 4 Cs, our 21st century skills, our content, And this all originated from the Colorado Academic Standards. So you can see down here, the Colorado Academic Standards are the roots of our tree. So everything developed from there. And encompassing our tree are big business, great businesses, all the places, Google, Apple, Amazon, all the places that we have looked at and said, this is what we want from our employees. To be successful, these are the skills, this is the knowledge that every kid coming out of schools, out of college, they need to have to be successful. So you can see all of our buildings encompassing our tree, and that's what's driven why we've created where our tree grew from, is from the skills and knowledge that all our buildings have said that they need. Thanks. Thank you.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived 67,000 young, impressionable stakeholders. We call them our future, also known as digital natives. A group of evil wizards wanted to vanquish Mr. Mediocrity from the land, so they put their thinking caps on and created a magic formula called the Common Core. A decree went out that individual kingdoms could add 15% of their own ingredients to the formula. So Colorado created the Colorado Academic Standards. The kingdom of Douglas County looked at this formula and they decided it was not worthy of their subjects' time, attention, and needs. So they put their heads together and created world-class outcomes based on research, innovation, and higher levels of thinking. They bloomified the Colorado Academic Standards, made them transferable, and added 21st century skills and the 4 C's to create the GVC, which the children of the land will know and understand for 40 years and beyond. We believe that they will live happily ever after.
Start putting the little evil guy up. Good job.
Hello, fellow Douglas County educator. Tell me more about curriculum. Well, the best way to define is the goal of what we want students to learn. We call it the GVCs. We love our acronyms in Douglas County. The GVCs. There are 4 components: world-class outcomes, 21st century skills, 4 CS, and content. What in the world are world-class outcomes? Where did they come from? They developed from the Colorado Academic Standards, but serve the purpose of defining what students need to understand to thrive in a 21st century world. Okay, that sounds pretty important. How about the 4 C's? The 4 C's, collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking, are skills that employers felt were essential for the next generation of workers. I think I heard that they are part of 21st century skills, and are the 4 most important. 21st century skills? I'm not sure about that exactly. Those are additional skills that are important for participating in an increasingly connected society. They include financial literacy, global awareness, civic responsibility, health and wellness, systems thinking, problem solving, resiliency, and maybe a few others I forgot. Nice. How about content? Content is the what of what students are learning. It's the core. It's a vehicle for students to develop their 21st century skills. This is all pretty big picture. So why do kids need to learn these? So, we're future ready, right? Kids need to be future ready as well. All these components together will help them to change the world.
Yeah, that is called Go Animate, and it's a paid thing, but you can do some limited stuff with it for free as well.
All right, thanks for coming tonight. Okay, so as you can see, our GVCs, the 4 main components would be the 4 C's, of course. We have 21st century skills and our world-class outcomes as well as content. Obviously, these things fall under the umbrella of the overall DEC, SD, GVCs. As they pour down from the skies above, they trickle down the umbrella. And we looked at the website. We know we don't have an official mission statement yet, but we thought this was a direction that we were headed in. Our goal is to prepare our students to compete on the world stage for the college or career pathways of their choice by providing a world-class education. Also, on the other side, by providing a personalized learning experience, we are creating lifelong learners and critical thinkers, empowering our students with the necessary tools for learning and freedom to explore their many options in life. And as you all know here, the handle that holds up the entire umbrella we have here is why kids need to learn. Why do they need to learn these GVCs? To be competitors in the world and marketplace. And in the last 30 seconds there, I thought I'd have a little more opportunity. You can see I began to create some flowers here. Those represent our children, and pretend these blue thingies are green. And so all of these drops fall onto our students, and they're gonna go out and change the world, and we're just gonna be known as the greatest district on the planet. How's that? Yeah.
So Powtoon, that's cute. Okay, one thing was either reinforced for you or you learned about what is curriculum and the components and where they came from and all that stuff. One thing from each table. Go. What's one thing? Somebody just pop one out there.
Reinforces why we're doing what we're doing.
Reinforce why we're doing what we're doing. Over here, you guys?
Goals with the student in mind.
The goal with the student in mind. Back there? You guys have anything?
Just like a worldly vision, different, like bigger than just the classroom.
Okay, it reinforced the bigness of it all. That's great. Over here?
Preparing students for the real world and their future.
Preparing students for the real world, their future, not the assembly line, which was our origin, right, as a profession. And back there?
They were tailored for our goals and our needs in Douglas County.
Absolutely, tailored for our goals and our needs in Douglas County. I love all those. Good job. Okay, Dana, we're ready. Going on to the next step.
I can't even contain my excitement right now. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Everybody should have note cards at their table, different colors. So what we would like you to do is you're going to have to pick, do we want to do grade level content area?
So how many of you are a grade level teacher? You teach one grade level.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to do this for your grade level. All right? How many of you are specials teachers? Okay, so you're going to do it for your content special. All right? How many of you are secondary teachers that teach classes of various content?
None.
Nobody?
Okay.
Okay.
Administrators.
Admin and PLS too. Admin and PLS.
So are we going to let them choose?
Choose.
Choose grade level or choose a content. It's up to you. Okay.
Admin can also choose the outcomes for your own staff if you feel comfortable to do that. Obviously, we're not going to have those in the GVC, but if you have a sense of what your outcomes are for your staff, you could do it in that way.
So what you're going to do for your specials or your grade level or your classes, you're going to write all of the world-class outcomes, one per card, on the white cards. So for some of you, this could be a lot. So one outcome per card, and they're white.
Oh, wait. So if inquiry is listed twice, how many times do you write it? once. Okay, all right.
Okay, then,
I was worried about a stack of cards like this.
okay. Then, all 21st century skills, 1 per card on the blue cards. Okay, so resiliency goes on one,
Civic
systems
responsibility.
thinking goes on another. Those are blue. Then you're going to put the 4 C's on the green cards, 1 C per card. Okay. Now, do we want him to break the 4 C's down per element?
No.
Okay. 1 C per card, and then you're going to write your content, 1 concept per card on yellow.
We want to provide this, though, for people who are starting to get to this place. What we want you to do, and some of you may need like the floor. We've seen that. No, what we want you to do is start trying to take the cards and sort them into things that make sense to teach together. Things that just naturally go together that you have in your various piles, okay? So you may put, and here's the other thing. This is going to be a question that somebody's going to ask. I'm going to answer it right now. You have 2 options. If you say, well, I want to put creativity with more than 1 pile, and I only have 1 creativity card. You can either tear it in half, which is what I would do, or you can get another green card. That's what Dana would do, because she would not want her creativity card messed up. So you have the option of either tearing them into pieces and putting them in your piles, or getting additional cards if you want to. But we want you to try to start, and we have lots of people here to help. So if you're like, what? The best way to do this is literally to just roll up your sleeves and start organizing it. Okay? Any questions?
Yes.
Chunks.
In the chunks.
Chunks of things that go together. Okay, I always teach dinosaurs, and wow, this goes really well with dinosaurs, this other item over here. So sometimes people organize by content, sometimes people organize by world-class outcomes. It's completely up to you. Start putting items in piles until every item has a pile. Now, if you have one thing that just doesn't have a pile, then let us know. Does that make sense? Okay, let us know if you need help.
Also, do we need to hit the 2 bullets?
Oh, okay, just in case. Remember that you're not required to teach and assess all of the 21st century skills. So you're only required to do the ones, or you're asked to do the ones that make sense. So if you teach a particular topic and health and wellness just doesn't make sense, you don't have to teach it. We're hoping our phys ed teachers will probably use that one. Ultimately, they should learn all 21st century skills over the course of their elementary experience and again over their secondary experience. So let's pretend you got this all done. You could go to other grade levels and say, hey, did you teach resiliency? Mm-hmm. Where are our kids getting resiliency? But right now, we're not there yet. We're not there yet in our conversation and thinking. And at the end, it says, a future goal for us would be to have badges that kids could earn in elementary and then again in secondary associated with those skills, like Boy Scout badges that would be on their transcripts forevermore.
What about that? His perspective from different angles.
Especially in all different areas. We were talking about maybe instead of having the 4 C's everywhere, really being specific on what you're going to.
Yes, and the element within. So let me take creativity because I remember an element. Idea generation. You're not going to say in this one unit, I'm going to focus on everything in that rubric because that's way too much. Yeah. Maybe what makes sense, because I'm going to have them create something. Yeah, I'm going to have them focus on idea generation because that's the route I want to take with this unit.